This is why I love basketball, man. The nuance. It's never just about points. It's about body language, rotations, adjustments, who dictates the tone, who responds, who shrinks, who disrupts. And this loss to Detroit wasn't random. It was revealing. The Knicks jumped out to a 9-2 lead. Mikal Bridges hits that two-pointer that he thought was a three. Detroit calls timeout, and Mikal just flashes that subtle smile. Now listen, I'm not overanalyzing the smile, but context matters. You already been blown out twice by this team. What the fuck are you smiling about? Like, they sent you twice already. I pay attention to little shit like this. This moment shouldn't feel casual at all. It should feel locked in. Instead, it felt premature. Yeah, and that feeling I got turned out to be true because Detroit controlled the tone from that point on. Cade was too comfortable. He dropped 42 and 13. That's not just scoring, that's orchestration. When someone gives you 42 and 13, your scheme failed. There were no sustained traps, no aggressive hedging, no hard commitments to get the ball out of his hands. Detroit was already short-handed. No Duren, no Stewart. So what's the adjustment? Make somebody else beat you. But instead, Cade operated comfortably, and comfort is contagious. Some games require execution. Other games require force. This actually required both, in my opinion. This game needed to get dirty, physical, disruptive, uncomfortable. And when Jeremy Sohan came in, he did exactly that. Full court pressure, hands on Cade, body contact, psychological presence. He made Cade feel him. That's disruption. So why 10 minutes? If a player visibly shifts defensive tone, the rotation should reflect it. Mike Brown said he wanted to bring him along slowly. Well, this wasn't the matchup for that. This wasn't no bring him along slowly matchup. This was we needed an edge matchup, but instead Mike Brown stayed rigid. Now OG struggled offensively and defensively, but he's just coming back from injury. What's Mikal's excuse? 8 points, minimal defensive resistance. Cade constantly creating separation on his bum ass. Cade treated that guy like he didn't belong on the same floor as him. I was honestly terrified for Bridges when he was guarding Cade. And at that point, what's the point of him playing, bro? If he's gonna give you 8 points and get his ass bust on defense, just put in Mo Diawara or Sohan for all of that. Mike Brown? Like, his production isn't just inconsistent, it's fluctuating at the wrong times. Cat 21 and 11. Very efficient, but only 14 shots. Against a depleted front court. No Stewart, no Duren. The issue isn't just volume at this point. Like, it's integration. Post entries are late, or they don't get there at all. Spacing collapses. When they force feed him, rhythm disappears, turnovers follow. It's just nasty, man. There still isn't a clear framework for maximizing talents in this offense. Elite players are supposed to assert themselves, I believe, but I also believe elite coaching structures usage, and neither one of them are elite, so they have to meet in the middle, and that's not happening. Right now, it feels improvised, and that's concerning. If you came looking for some Brunson criticism here, you were in the wrong place. I could find something negative to say, but I ain't gonna say it, because I know the real. My boy had one of the best defenders in the league on him, Assault Thompson. Has to rely on weak-ass Mikal Bridges. Josh Hart, who wants to go 0 from 3. An injured OG, and Cat, who knows what you're going to get from Cat. We just seen my boy in the All-Star game. He wasn't chucking or nothing. He was deferring because he had some real hitters next to him. Now to the bench. Watching Mike Brown fluctuate DOR's minutes is frustrating. Inconsistent roles create uncertain players. It doesn't look like Mike Brown has any game plan or plan with the bench at this point. Like, he's just being reactive. And this is where he's starting to connect to the Thibodeau era. Late stage tears with stagnation. The team plateaued mentally and physically. It didn't feel like the ceiling was being pushed. I'm not saying they're there yet, but I'm seeing early indicators. The delayed adjustments, the overly cautious integration, no visible escalation of accountability. The rotation head scratches. Great coaching demands accountability across the board, including the highest paid players. The bigger issue, it's not talent. On paper, this was a controllable game. Detroit was missing key pieces. Situationally, the Knicks should have dictated physicality, but instead, they let Cade dictate, and they was the ones reacting. And when that pattern repeats, it stops being random at that point. It becomes identity. Oh yeah, Josh Hart, I almost forgot about him. Like I said, if Hart isn't stretching the floor, in the matchup and the team already struggles generating clean looks, then the rotation has to adjust. They needed as much shooting as they could get versus the Pistons, and Josh Hart going 0 for 0 from 3. His 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists was useless. You could have just played Diawara, who's been hot from 3 lately, or just played Sohan, who's a much better defender than Josh Hart. And that's situational coaching. It's not about Hart as a player, it's about what the game required, and that's the pattern. The Knicks too often stick to predetermined roles, just like Tibbs used to do, instead of reading the temperature of the game. And some nights require shooting, some require physicality, some require both. This was one of those nights, and adjustment never fully came. The biggest thing this team is lacking is edge. It's not talent. They lack the edge in the moments that require it. Simple as that. When they play aggressive, they look dominant. When they play passive, they look average. And that inconsistency falls on leadership. Mike Brown, the main one. The Rockets game tonight, I'm watching Mike Brown closely. Because when the fuck are the rotations gonna start reflecting the impact? Usage has to reflect matchups, and adjustments have to reflect urgency. If not, this season won't be defined by potential, it'll be defined by comfort.